Haruto writhed in pain as he pressed his back against the rough bark of the tree, struggling to steady his breath. From the corner of his eye, he caught the flicker of the farmer's torch cutting through the darkness. His hand instinctively went to his side, where warm blood seeped through his clothes, soaking him from the gunshot wound. The night was pitch black, the faint starlight now swallowed by gathering storm clouds. Time stretched unbearably as Haruto watched the ghostly silhouette of the farmer retreat toward the house. He had survived. For now. But had he really? Biting down hard on his lip, Haruto tried to push himself upright against the tree. But his body betrayed him. Weak from hunger, 2 days without food, and drained by the blood he had lost, he drifted in and out of consciousness. His body screamed with pain, yet his mind was elsewhere. It was on Kaito, his 6-year-old brother. He had left the boy hidden beneath a bush, promising to return with food. Now, dying beneath the storm, Haruto whispered hoarsely, "Oh, Kaito, how will I reach you?" He clawed at the ground, desperate to move, but his strength failed. And then, as if the heavens themselves conspired against him, the rain began to fall. First in cold drops, then in a relentless downpour that drenched him where he lay. That morning, Haruto and Kaito woke up very early, not because they wanted to, but because hunger would not let them sleep. They also had a long journey ahead. Haruto, only 11 years old, had become the breadwinner for his younger brother Kaito, who was just 6. Their parents had died 2 years earlier from a deadly disease that the villagers only spoke of in whispers. It was the kind of disease that brought shame to the family, and because of it, Haruto and Kaito were treated as outcasts. No one cared for them, not even their relatives. Those who pretended to care only did so to get rid of their own problems, like giving away stale food from their kitchens. Every day, it was Haruto's duty to find food for his brother. Sometimes it was a small bird, sometimes scraps from the garbage. Many nights they went to bed hungry, and Haruto would have to soothe Kaito to sleep. The night before, the brothers had agreed on a bold plan. They would walk to the city, 200 miles away. They dreamed of a better life there, and most of all, of meeting kind people. By 6 a.m., they were already on the road. Hunger pressed them hard, but the hope of reaching the city gave them strength. Holding Kaito's hand, Haruto tried to distract him with stories about how wonderful the city must be, a place Haruto himself had never seen. Their walk was steady, with short rests under trees. Luckily, they found streams along the way to quench their thirst. They avoided speaking to strangers, assuming everyone was as cruel as the villagers. Good people are only in the city, they told themselves. By sunset, they had covered less than a quarter of the distance. But they had a plan. In their small backpack, Haruto carried a blanket to keep them warm at night. They found a bush and made a little shelter. Yet, when Haruto looked at his tired little brother, the thought of him sleeping hungry again broke his heart. That night, Haruto made a hard decision. He did not believe in stealing, but this time, he had no choice. He told Kaito to stay hidden and wait until he returned. Then, with determination in his eyes, Haruto disappeared into the darkness to find food. Haruto walked for almost half an hour before he came across a large farm that had a well-built house. "When the time is right, this house will be our salvation today. I must find food," he said to himself. Haruto crouched in the shadows of the farmhouse, his stomach twisting with hunger and fear. For nearly 2 hours he had waited, watching the glow of the lanterns inside. At last, the lights went out. His heart pounded, but only one thought kept him steady. Kaito is waiting. I promised him food. I cannot fail. He crept forward, slipping through the door and toward the kitchen. His trembling hand reached for the latch, when suddenly, the lights blazed to life. For a split second, adrenaline drowned out reason. Haruto bolted, his legs carrying him blindly into the night. He crashed through the undergrowth, branches clawing at his skin, until he dove behind a tree. Only then did the truth hit him. He had been shot. Haruto writhed in agony, pressing his back against the tree as blood soaked his side. The farmer's torch beam cut through the darkness, sweeping the ground like a predator's eye. Haruto fought to control his breathing, every gasp threatening to give him away. The night sky offered no comfort. The stars were swallowed by heavy clouds, and the silence was broken only by the farmer's footsteps. At last, the ghostly figure retreated toward the house. Haruto had survived, but survival felt like a cruel illusion. Weak from hunger, drained of blood, he drifted in and out of consciousness. His body screamed, but his mind clung to one thought: Kaito, his little brother, hidden under a bush, waiting for food that would never come. "Oh, Kaito, how will I reach you?" Haruto whispered, his voice fading into the storm. And then, as if the heavens themselves conspired against him, the rain began. Cold, relentless, drowning him where he lay. The storm raged, washing away Haruto's strength. His vision blurred, his body heavy. Somewhere in the distance, a child's voice seemed to call his name. Or was it only the wind?